POP and trade shows. POP stands for point of purchase. So let's talk about POP graphics. POP displays impact consumer behavior at the time and the place where they make their purchasing decisions. Unlike TV, internet, radio, or print ads, POP displays call for action, and the consumer can act instantly by picking up and purchasing the product. There are three kinds of POP displays. There's temporary. Temporary displays are made of paperboard. Usually displays like these are intended to be used during a special promotion and then disposed of or recycled. This is not the type of display that would be restocked once the product has been purchased. There's semi-permanent. This is the type of display that could be reused or easily refilled. Usually these types of displays will sit on a counter facilitating the display of a particular product. It can easily be restocked, and the materials that made it are meant to increase its durability. These types of displays bridge the gap between permanent and temporary displays. And then there's permanent displays. These are examples of more permanent displays. In the first example, only a few shoe styles are shown. They can be easily updated with new styles as they become available. This manufacturer knows the consumers shop for their brand, and that's the reason for the large logo at the top. The same idea is applied to the Milwaukee tool display. Like individual product packages, POP displays can be custom designed to fit the needs of a particular brand or can be created from a stock display. Even stock displays can be decorated with powerful graphics, making them unique and representational of the brand. Once again, it comes down to cost, so custom design will cost more and take longer to manufacture. Some POP displays are very sophisticated and include special lighting and materials. These types of displays become permanent fixtures in a retail space. As you can imagine, the retailer and the distributor manufacturer have to agree ahead of time to this type of display. In many cases, the design needs to be changed to accommodate a retailer's specific request. For instance, specific type of materials or colors may be required in order for the display to match the other merchandising units. The Magnolia installation in 500 of Targets across the nation is an example of this. I'm sure you've all walked in and had to walk through this. In other instances, a simple stock design is used. The paperboard here was stock size. The graphics were then applied to create the interest. The backsplash folds down and closes as it ships. And this type of display is called a display shipper because it's also its own shipping container. Some things to consider when you're working on a POP. These are examples of, okay, so we're going to talk about budget. You need to consider your budget. You need to capture the essence of the brand. The lifespan of the display, size. Most retail space is tight and limited. So you need to think about floor, counter, or pegboard format. What materials are you going to use? How will it ship from the printing agency to the stores where it will go? Assembly, like who's going to assemble this thing? If it's super complicated, are the people who are working at the store, are they qualified to put it together? And instructions. You would need, if it is complicated, you need to include instructions. So now let's talk about trade show graphics. Many manufacturers and retailers realize the importance of participating in trade shows and include them as part of their marketing plan. Trade shows provide a way to promote a company's goods and services to other businesses or even to the end consumer. While some trade show exhibit designs are an extension of the company's identity, some go as far as to establish a totally new experience for their customers. So I think this is at the auto show, where people stand in line to ride in the Jeep. Trade shows are part of a marketing mix for many products. While some companies will only present their products during business-to-business shows, others will participate in consumer-targeted conventions. Whatever your client's goals are, it's essential for the exhibit design to stand out and draw interest from the attendees. In order to draw a crowd, you need to work closely with your clients and make sure that the exhibit is promoted prior to the actual show via the use of direct mail. This will attract potential customers to your booth. Let's consider trade show design. These days, designers work closely with exhibit companies to select a setup that best fits their client needs and budgets. There's stock designs for many configurations that can be easily adjusted to meet the consumer needs. And there's also options available for those who prefer to have a custom design. As you might expect, a custom design will cost more and take longer to produce than a stock design. Stock products have been designed very efficiently to facilitate the shipping and assembling of the booth. Materials have been selected based on weight as well as durability. So where should you begin when you're asked to design a trade show exhibit? First, find out what your client's expectations are. Sometimes they only want a designer to handle graphics, while others want you to design the entire space. Understand your roles and responsibilities from the beginning. If you have been hired to handle the entire project, find out if the company has an existing prefabricated or custom booth that they would like you to use. This can be a great time and money saver. Even older booths can be brought back to life with new fabric coverings and graphics. Find out the dimensions of the booth and, if possible, assemble it in an empty office so that you can walk around and experience it. Take measurements so you know the surface areas that you're working with. The next thing you need to know is if the exhibit will be traveling to multiple locations per year or if it's a one-time use for a very specific conference. Some companies will have one booth but multiple graphics depending on the focus of the show. If it's a one-time use only, you'll need to know if there's a specific theme for the show. Find out what the budget is for your project. Most exhibitors spend between $1,000 and $4,000 for graphic products per 10 feet of linear exhibit space. So keep that in mind that this is only production costs. Design, labor, and floor space are additional. Clients are making a serious financial commitment when they hire you to design their trade show booth. Once you know what you're dealing with, it's time to begin working on the concept for your design proposal. Meet with the client early in the process to make sure you have all the information that you need. Find out if there's a line of products that needs to be showcased, like for you guys, it would be a line of products or your product in particular. Or if there's a particular service that needs to be promoted. You will need to know the size of the booth that you're dealing with in addition to knowing the size of your display. Depending on the type of show, booth sizes start at 10 by 10 and grow exponentially from there. In addition to actual physical considerations, you must also take into account that you have been asked to create an experience for the visitor. You should create an environment for them to experience your client's products or services. This experience must contain a clear and central message. Trade show graphics need to have a simple message. 6 to 9 words should be sufficient for any graphics panel. Avoid placing type on complex backgrounds, since this will make it harder to read. And also, don't forget to design for your client's target audience. For the trade show environment, the graphics should be positioned at eye level so they're not missed. The average American is 5'6" to 5'8", so therefore keep in mind the message should be at that level and should extend roughly 30 degrees up or down from any average eye level. Otherwise, the message might be missed. And that